Welcome back, everyone, especially you subscribers, especially you loyal subscribers. I've been struggling a bit to think of a format for my videos from now on, and I still haven't landed on anything, so I think I'm just going to have to wing it until I make it. That's how the phrase goes, right? Yeah, totally. I was even trying to think whether or not this would have a name, like the name of a show or something. Would they just be plain old videos, or is it going to be, you know, a very structured show? I don't know. If I decide to call it a show, maybe it'll be something like Ark's Reactions, because that's totally not cheesy and cringe. Or maybe because it is. Anyway, let's get started. So here's what I'm going to do. The format of these videos from now on for the foreseeable future will be things throughout the week just happen, or maybe just thoughts come to my mind throughout the week. And so, whatever it is, I'm going to put them all into one video and go through them one by one until I've run out of things to talk about, and then we do it all over again. Sound good? Good. Here's the first thing I want to talk about, requested by someone in my enclave, this Planned Parenthood slogan. Abortion is gender-affirming care, it says. I'll admit, for the life of me, I had no idea what this meant. I still don't know what it means. My theory is that it means abortion affirms that you're a woman. That could be a trans thing, I guess, or it could just be well, this is what real women do. They slaughter their own children in the womb. Or maybe both. Who knows? I don't speak leftist tard, so I needed people to translate it for me. And no one really could, but I did see some good theories. Another person in my enclave said that he thinks it's about accepting trans men. He says it would be way worse if it was of trans women since they can only stimulate. When I told him my interpretation, his response was, I don't think they think far enough ahead to be about the average woman. Fair enough. That's possible. But no matter what, I think we can all agree it's evil. When is it not evil? When does anything the left wants not evil? One thing is for sure, as far as the meaning goes, what is undeniable, what is without question is that they're approving of abortion. And I suppose at the end of the day, that's all you need. That's all you need to know. They're just further approving of abortion, further endorsing it, advocating for it, slaughtering children in the womb. Because of course they are. This is, after all, the compassionate, empathetic side of the political spectrum, right? So we obviously need to just get rid of people all the time. Funny how that works. Funny how the left, they care so much about humanity. They care so much about people who can't really help themselves for one reason or another. And so the solution is to just get rid of people, including the helpless ones themselves. And who is more helpless than an unborn child? It truly fucking fascinates me that people actually believe, millions of people actually believe that abortion is not murder. In my mind, that's no different than believing that wheels aren't round. If it's not a child in there, a living child, then how is it an abortion? It's not an abortion if they weren't alive in the first place. It's not a pregnancy if they weren't alive in the first place. This isn't rocket science. It's not complicated philosophy. Oh, just a clump of cells. Well, technically everyone is just a clump of cells. What the hell is that logic either? At the end of the day, it's just evil people looking for reasons to be evil, trying to justify it and make other people go along with it. Like a virus. They just want more evil in the world. It's not more complicated than that. It never is. Egalitarianism, equality. Yeah, that kind of thinking, being anti-hierarchy. Nothing has killed more people in all of human history than this kind of thinking. I think my slogan for the channel from now on, for the foreseeable future, is going to be hierarchy in all things. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen here. Hierarchy in all things. Not simply because it's true. Not simply because everything in the universe, everything in existence has hierarchy, because where there is difference, there is hierarchy. Not just for that reason, but because being against hierarchy, being against reality itself, that's when people get hurt the most. Just the past 100 years alone, has proven this. Still on the subject of abortion, because of course, this is what women are the most obsessed with. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey signs the bill for abortions up to birth. And of course, it's a room full of women circled around a woman with power. It's exactly what you would think it is if you have a brain, that is. If you can observe reality as it is. This shouldn't surprise you. History was right about women. You're not supposed to give them power. This anime account that I follow, well, not necessarily an anime account, but that's his profile picture. He says, "It's amazing how women are one-issue voters, and the issue is killing their own children." Fully agreed. That is true, whether you like it or not. And I can just hear women saying, "Oh, but I'm against it." Because they always think one anecdote just cancels out the entire point. It negates the entire rule. Like, oh, here's an exception, therefore the rule is moot. They always think that. What's the classic? It's like the average woman is what, 5'5" or something, and then the woman goes, "But I'm 5'7". As if that defeats the point. They always think it does. Yeah, yet another reason women shouldn't have power. It's not just that they do evil shit. It's that they are also just fucking stupid. And actually, in most cases in life, being stupid is actually more dangerous than being evil. Not inherently, not all the time, but often. Being weak and being stupid causes more harm than being intentionally evil. Women are the best examples of that, and they always will be. And so now for this next story. I honestly did not intend for all of these reactions to be about women, but they just caused so many problems. I guess that's just the way it worked out here. Like, seriously, I was just collecting random stories here and there. I wasn't even thinking about how they connected, and it just so happens, like, when I put them all together, oh, they're all about women being fucked up in the head. Great. Anyway, here's the next one. Here's the next one. I saw this post among many talking about Lindsay Clancy, and this guy reacting to it like many others. He says, "Why do I keep seeing women on TikTok unironically defending a mom who murdered 3 of her kids? Has the world gone mad?" Well, the world has always been a fucked up place, but again, this is what happens when you give women power, including over their own lives or over their own children's lives. Now, this woman was married, but what does that mean anymore these days? She waited for her husband to leave and then offed her own kids, and then tried to take the coward's way out by offing herself. And it didn't work. When she hit the ground, she only got paralyzed, not killed. And she's pleading not guilty, of course. Can't take accountability, of course. One TikToker says, "I want to become a lawyer to defend women like Lindsay Clancy." Another one says, "She's about to be jailed for life for something her husband did." Holy shit. Yeah, the truth doesn't even matter. That's how far off the rails we've gone. The truth itself doesn't even matter to anyone. Thanks to liberalism, everyone is their own king. That's basically the pitch for liberalism. Everyone is their own king or queen. And at the deepest core essence of that thinking, that kind of thinking is believing you are your own God. You only answer to yourself. You live by your own morality. Thus, anything you want, anything you think, is the greatest good there is. And how dare anyone disagree with you? Yeah, someone who does something this horrific, and then they pretend they didn't, or they pretend that they were justified, guess what? That exact kind of thinking is, I am my own God. That's exactly what that is. Hierarchy in all things. No one is God. But thanks to egalitarianism, thanks to the religion of equality, and everything that has stemmed from that, including and especially democracy, thanks to that. I mean, I know democracy existed before liberalism. You get my point. Thanks to this kind of thinking, everyone thinks they can do no wrong, because morality is simply what you want it to be. Reality is whatever you want it to be. This is especially easy when women live in this kind of system, this kind of society. We teach everyone this nonsense, and of course women are going to just gobble it right up, because they have the minds of babies. They always will. It's the perfect ideology for them. It's basically their own nature come to life and made into a political system. Can you imagine if women had unfettered power, like a true gynocracy, a true matriarchy? You think things are bad enough as they are. Holy fuck. Here's another story I came across. Similar story. Mom allegedly made blood-chilling threat to ex moments before slaughtering 2 children. Say goodbye to your kids. Women are more likely to have mental illness. Yeah, that comes with being the weaker sex. That comes with having the minds of babies. That comes with basically being unable to comprehend reality by your very nature. Mental illness is thus, it's basically a given. Whenever you're faced with anything that makes you uncomfortable, anything that gets your fifis worked up, you take it too far. Everything's an overreaction. They can't help it. They don't know any better. See, this is why history kept them down. They need to be kept down. And you only think, or not you guys, not my loyal followers, you guys are cool, but most people think that's wrong. They think that's evil simply because they were taught to think it's evil. The way our society is now, it's basically like if you tell anyone that they are not their own sovereign, they are not their own God, that's one of the greatest evils you could ever commit. A civilization of narcissists. How's that working out? I'm so sick of this shit. And then did you guys see this? This woman getting married damn near crashes her own ceremony just to remind the pastor, like, hey, I'm keeping my last name, okay? See, women don't even understand, hey, marriage is a union. A union. Especially with the Bible, that's how, most marriages in America are conducted. They are Christian ceremonies. The Bible says marriage is when you become one flesh. But even just logically, you become one in spirit, at least. Just logically speaking, even if you try to take religion out of it. So for this broad to just be like, hey, I'm still me, okay? I am still my own person. Get it right. Yeah, they're not just ignorant. They're proudly ignorant. Narcissism above all. Why are you even getting married if you don't want to be that closely associated with your own husband? No one asked you to change your first name, dumb bitch. But she is reacting as if that's what's expected of her. Poor guy, he's about to lose half of everything plus a little extra every month. It's coming. The broad's probably going to wait till they have at least 1 kid, maybe 2, maybe 3. Then she's out, and then she's going to be a parasite for the next 18 years. All by design. Because as we all know, marriage these days, it's just for women. It's the only contract in existence, really, where you are actually supposed to break it for the most benefits. Yeah, to get the most out of the contract, you have to break it. What a good system. What a well thought out genius system we have here. Gee, I wonder why everything's broken. All right, that's going to be it for today's reactions. Join our enclave, everyone. We're trying to be something different. We are trying to be the change that we want to see. In my enclave, we don't believe in just sitting around and waiting for someone else to do something. That's pretty feminine, actually. Oh, why won't somebody do something? And constantly waiting for, someone to take it too far, someone to overreact. It's all so feminine. But with my enclave, we're actually trying to build from the ground up, from scratch, the world that we want to see. We're not trying to change the world. We're just simply trying to be the change that we want to see and fuck everybody else. So if you want to join my enclave, visit the website. Link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time.